Everyone, this is Dr. Tom Chaney from Living Health Integrative Medicine in Annapolis. In this video, I want to answer the question, what to eat if you've been diagnosed with prediabetes. So many patients come to us as diabetic or pre-diabetic, wanting individualized help. And I'm going to go over this one article. This was written recently. It was published on the Cleveland Clinic's website. It's titled What to Eat If You've Been Diagnosed with Prediabetes. You can also get many of these tips on how to make changes, lifestyle changes, if you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, in my book, Defeat Diabetes. So that's available on Amazon. It's also available on my website at livinghealthmarket.com. So I just want to go through this article with you, and I'll give you, I'll read through it, talk about some of the suggestions, some of the things that I agree with, some of the things that I would modify. So one of the first things she talks about is cutting out sugar. So to me, this seems like obvious thing to look at and a great first place to start. Candy, desserts, sweets, baked goods, agave. So agave syrup, something that we thought was okay many years ago, but now we know that this is like high fructose corn syrup to the body, and it will affect the liver and create insulin resistance. So we want to eliminate agave. So that was a sweetener that was used and it still is used in many products. So you want to look out for that. Honey, jams, jellies, and syrups, all just straight sugar. It's going to bump your numbers up, creating more insulin resistance as well. Next tip is to eliminate sweetened beverages. So let's look at what to eliminate. Alcohol. So I keep all my patients off alcohol. Great. First step is to just eliminate all beer, wine, and liquor. Energy drinks, full of sugar. So you want to make sure that you cut out the energy drinks. Fruit juices. So a lot of people are surprised by this. They look at they pick up fruit juice in the store. It says 100% natural. It'll say organic, and they think it's okay to drink. What they didn't do is they didn't look at how much sugar is in that fruit juice or in that lemonade. Usually there's a ton of sugar. So cut out the juices, cut out the fruit juices, cut out the lemonade, cut out the fruit punch, no sweet tea, no sweetened coffee drinks. So cut all of those out. Also soda, of course. I think that one's an obvious one. Also diet soda. I would recommend all unsweetened, all of these artificially sweetened products like diet sodas are cut out as well. So all of these artificially sweetened products, they have artificial sweeteners that act on several parts of the body, specifically the liver, and it has shown to make your diabetes worse by creating more insulin resistance. It's also been shown that it works on the gut and it disrupts the bacteria balance in the gut, which directly increases blood sugar as well. So diet products with artificial sweeteners need to be cut out. Let's talk about, she's talking about the next one, swapping, making a swap for carbs. So some of these simple carbs like chips, crackers, pretzels, white rice, bread, white pasta, instead of eating these, she says you should be eating the whole wheat or bean-based pasta, brown or wild rice, beans and lentils, barley, bulgur, buckwheat, farro, quinoa, yams or sweet potatoes, and red skin potatoes. Okay, so let's talk about this for a minute. So on my patients' plates, I would not have any of these on the meal plates in the beginning. So if you want to really buckle down, I would have lean protein and vegetables. I would eliminate all of these. Maybe have them once in a while for a snack, but I'm not going to overdo it in the beginning when we're more strict. Once we have the body functioning better, we can see what the body can tolerate. But I can tell you, even if it is brown rice, it is going to affect the blood sugar, your blood sugar. It's going to elevate the glucose, and that's not something we want. We want, if you're in a pre-diabetic range or in a diabetic range, we have to really step on the brakes and make sure we're doing everything we can to stop the progression of this disease. So we're going to cut these out. that would be my suggestion. Now, the next part is, what are the proteins that you're going to have on your plate? So here's her suggestions, which is dried beans and peas, eggs, fish, yogurt, lean meats, nuts and seeds, cheese, and tofu. So my suggestion would be no cheese. I see most of my diabetics, I test them for dairy sensitivities, and most of them have a dairy sensitivity and cannot consume it. And what I mean by that, it's going to create inflammation in the body. When you create inflammation, you're going to drive blood sugar up indirectly. So I would take that out, even if you don't have the testing. And that includes Greek yogurt up here. Down here, tofu. I don't do any soy with my patients. Most of it's genetically modified, and most patients don't do well with it, and it does affect a lot of my patients' blood sugar. So I would keep that out as well. Nuts and seeds, I would keep that as a snack. So use that as an option for a snack. So fish, and then lean meats. So you got chicken, turkey, you got grass-fed meats, and you've got free-range poultry. So that would be your lean meats. And then veggies, of course, that's going to fill most of your plate. And you want to have something, what I recommend with patients is they have this with a olive oil dressing, which is going to help with absorption. If you get that fatty dressing, so olive oil, maybe some garlic, some spices, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, that's going to be good for your digestion. She also mentions fiber, and I do recommend fiber to my patients as well, usually in a supplement form, and that is going to help slow down digestion, and that will help with your blood sugar as well. So I think that's a really good suggestion. So here are some of the suggestions for her vegetables. One of the things we do is I run a food sensitivity test on my patients, and I actually test over 180 different foods. I can see exactly how your body is reacting to these types of vegetables. So broccoli, beets, Brussels sprouts, celery, cucumbers, leafy greens, even lettuce, onions, peppers. It'll give me a readout, and I can see exactly which ones are causing inflammation, which ones are not, so we know which to include in your diet and which to pull out. And that's how we tailor and customize a nutrition plan for a patient. Now, she says, enjoy fruit in moderation. Typically, I will limit fruit as well, and it'll typically be one serving per day. I would like that broken up through the day and not all at once, so it just kind of spreads out that dump of sugar into the body and it doesn't go all in at once. This says don't overdo it with alcohol. I just cut alcohol out with patients altogether. It may not be forever, but definitely in the beginning. And then meal times are super important as well. I sit down with patients in the beginning and work out when they're going to eat meals, and then we're going to work out snacks in between. We don't want to go long periods without eating. So there are times when we may do a fast. We have different types of fasts, so there may be a strategy where we use and incorporate fasting, but typically on a typical day, we want to not go over 2 to 3 hours without our next meal or snack. So that's very important. And then she talks about ketogenic diet down here as well. That's really popular right now. Some patients will do well with ketogenic. Some patients, I would never put them on ketogenic. It would not be a good type of diet for them. And there's different things that we look at when we're looking at them. The biggest thing is, how do they metabolize fat? That is a very high-fat diet. So if you cannot metabolize fat efficiently, that will not be a good option for you. So you can also look at so that's the article, but to get some more suggestions, you can come over to our website at mylivinghealth.com. Under the resource section, the blog, Get Healthy, Stay Healthy, This goes over Dr. Steph's plate rule, and it just kind of gives you a breakdown of what I was referring to. So 50 to 75% of your plate should be organic greens and veggies, 25% good quality protein like grass-fed, finished meats. Wild-caught fish would be great, and then 0 to 25%. So you don't always have to have starchy veggies. So starchy veggies would be like we talked about and mentioned yams, sweet potatoes. That would fall under the starchy veggies, or a gluten-free grain. That would be that brown rice if we put that on there. All right, and then I mentioned covering it all with a healthy fat like olive oil, coconut oil as a salad dressing. So you can check this out here. We have some other suggestions on the site. We've got recipes on here as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helps you. If you are pre-diabetic, I hope this helps you put the brakes on and start heading in the right direction. So if you're not on medication, you don't have to go on medication. And if they have put you on medication, you can start going in, start reducing those numbers and get off of the medication, because it is possible. We help patients every day reverse this disease. So it is possible with the right tools, with the right plan and the right program. So I wish you the best, and I will see you in the next video.